I think manufacturers will cheer the commitment to a modern industrial strategy. They will also cheer the fact that there's an aim at least to have a continuing and close relationship with the European Union after we leave. They will be more concerned at the proposals on immigration and migration, and more concerned still that there'd be even a contemplation that we would leave the EU with no deal at all.
Theresa May has said no deal is better than a bad deal.
That's not what our members believe. Clearly, if we were left with no deal at all, for manufacturers, they would face potentially a very difficult set of circumstances, uncertainty over imports and exports and tariffs and quotas. No trade deal with the EU at all and falling back on WTO rules would be extremely damaging to them and to the UK economy as well.
What about this immigration skills charge? It's already been in for a month. Are you seeing much of an impact as things stand?
I think it's too early because I think it only came in on about the 6th of April of this year. So early days yet, but it's due to raise about £240 or £50 million over a year. So clearly it would have an impact over time. But the idea that you'd increase it to £2,000 would be highly damaging to manufacturers who are short of vital skills in the UK.
That is only for large companies. It's less for small companies, of course.
It's less for small companies, but however, it could apply to a company with just 51 employees. So it depends whether you call someone employing 51 small or not. I suspect they'd think of themselves as a small business. They'd actually pay £2,000 a year.
So is this something that your members are definitely giving you feedback on, saying this is going to really hurt our business?
Certainly. I mean, the UK has had for a long time an immigration system which actually chokes off access to global talent. So we have an ambition to bring net migration down to under 100,000. We have tightening business immigration rules. We have limits on the numbers of people that can be brought in. We lack vital engineering skills in the UK, and we need that talent in the UK to grow.
Well, Theresa May would no doubt argue that it's incumbent on businesses like your members to pay to train up British people rather than simply rely on migrant labour.
And our members do train. 75% of our members have apprenticeship programmes. That compares to about 15% for employers in the economy in general. It takes about 4 years to train an apprentice. Our members pay between £90,000 and £100,000 to train a single apprentice. So we are investing. It's just the fact that actually we could invest more if we have more people to train in the UK. And what we lack in the UK is some vital entry-level talent, notably coming out of school.
On that basis, though, I mean, you must be quite encouraged that the government does seem to be putting a bit more emphasis on skills and apprenticeships rather than just simply sending people to university.
We are. The emphasis on technical education is good. The emphasis on new institutes of technology is good, and new T levels, which will be equivalent to A levels. All that in time, we hope, will deliver a more balanced education system, more technical skills in the UK. However, it will take time. So we need a breathing space to make sure that we can access the skills that we need today until we train sufficient levels of numbers in the UK.
Now, clearly there's a bit of a sense then I'm getting from you that you don't think this manifesto is entirely business friendly. What about the Labour manifesto earlier this week?
Well, the Labour manifesto, again, contained things that I think some businesses would share. Clearly, there's an emphasis on growth in the UK. However, there's also an emphasis on greater labour market regulation, substantial greater labour market regulation, and a much higher level of the national minimum wage. And those things would really cause businesses to be concerned that we'd see a tightening labour market in due course.
Yes, I think your Director General said it was from a bygone era.
There certainly were shades of that manifesto that appear to take us back to collective bargaining days of years gone past. And if we look at what's happened in Europe over recent years, many countries in Europe have actually left that system because it leads to a very inflexible and rigid labour market and reduces competitiveness.